When you've got big goals in your life, big dreams, you want to start a business, you want to start a side hustle, you want to save up, buy a house, invest in stuff, you want to get married, you want to have kids, you want to do hijrah, any of these really important goals for you, if you have them, you have the dreams, you watch the videos about them, you might even know exactly what to do, but you don't take enough action, then there are only 4 reasons that you're not doing it. In this video, I'll take you through each one of them, why it exists, why it's the real reason that you're being held back, and how to systematically destroy it, demolish it. Because a lot of the time, people like you, people that are ambitious, but are not quite doing enough and making enough progress and taking enough action, we psychoanalyze too much. We overthink, we procrastinate because of it. And that leads us to complicating everything and making things seem like there's a huge reason why we're not taking action. Whereas I would actually challenge you that there are only 4 barriers in your way. If you can systematically destroy these 4 challenges, then you will break through and take a lot more action and inshallah, achieve those big goals of yours. So the first one probably seems the most obvious and it's kind of simple and silly, but it really makes a big difference when you fix it. And that is simply to know exactly what you need to be doing today, this week, this month, this year. Do you know what your goals are for this year? Have you actually written them down in black and white English so there's nowhere to run away from? You know, sometimes we don't want to write it down because we don't want to commit to doing that thing. Because if we don't do it, then we feel like a failure. It's just a fake way of hiding away from failure. Whereas if you write it down and you commit to it, there is a success or a failure. And we want to avoid the option of failure, so we don't write it down. But the first thing you need to do, and the first barrier, is not being specific. You need to be specific about your goals for the year, your goals for this specific quarter, 90-day window. And therefore, from that 90 days, you're going to know your weekly goals, what you want to achieve. Because a big reason people don't take action is that they don't know what to do. And that's the leading reason for procrastination, is not having it black and white clear in your head what you need to do. So if we have a 90-day goal, something that we're going to focus on intensely for 90 days, every week we should write down the things we need to accomplish that week in order to build towards having a victory and a success at the end of the 90 days. If it's written out and it's very specific, you could even then break it down on a day-by-day basis. What do I need to achieve each day to complete this week's tasks? Then you're going to find that you're procrastinating a lot less. It's just very clear that today, I've just got this specific goal to achieve. For example, today, I've only got one thing I need to do to be successful today, and that is to record 2 videos. I'm actually recording my 3rd video today, so alhamdulillah, it went well so far. So the number 1 barrier, an enemy that you have, is not being specific and just having vague goals and vague tasks for this week, this month. Get specific and write it down in black and white, and then you will take more action. Simple as that. The second one is one that affects business owners a lot of the time, but it also applies to your ibadah, your memorization of Quran, even weight loss or weight gain that you're aiming for. You see, imagine you're navigating towards some great, amazing destination. For example, you're in North Africa 500 years ago and you want to go for Hajj in Mecca, in modern day Saudi Arabia. That is a long journey. And if you don't navigate very correctly, you're going to go off track and who knows where you'll end up. You might end up down the Nile in Sudan, in Egypt. You might end up going towards Central Asia or something. So you need to not only know where you're going, but know where you are today. And that's where measurement comes in. You know, they say people that want to lose weight, a very easy thing they can do that will help them start making progress immediately is not changing your diet, not measuring your calories, not going to the gym, not going for a walk every day, 10,000 steps. It's simply weighing themselves every day. People that weigh themselves every day, they actually lose weight. It's a habit that is closely correlated with losing weight, just measuring. So imagine you're on that journey to Mecca. Now every day you need to know, where am I? Not just where am I going, but where am I today? Am I on track? Am I on course? If I'm not on course, what do you need to do? You need to make a turn and go in the right direction. So when it comes to your weight loss, your weight gain, your memorization of Quran, your business journey, you need to measure the key metrics that allow you to know where you are. In my business, for example, I have one spreadsheet that summarizes everything that I'm trying to do. And I can tell from those numbers on that spreadsheet whether I'm on track or off track. And not only whether I'm on or off track, but which metrics are my bottleneck for success. Let's take another example of memorization of Quran. You know that in order to memorize this many surah or this many pages in a 90-day window, you need to memorize this many per day. And if you've not memorized this many per day, you know that you're behind for that day. And so the next day you need to make up for it. Without measurement, you will simply not be able to course correct. You won't know where you are. And before you know it, I'm sure this happened to you before, you will actually be so off track that you just feel like giving up on the goal altogether. So not measuring is the number 2 reason for you not taking enough action. Now, number 3, I've got to admit, is my weak point. And that is that if I don't feel a sense of urgency, I will not take action. I'll stay longer in bed. I'll take a while to get to the office. I'll just play with my kids instead or whatever. I won't press record on the button. And that is if I don't have any deadlines. Now, the biggest game changer for me in my business was when I had deadlines. With my business partners, we found we were a bit slow in taking action sometimes. We didn't have that youthful, energetic, aggressive chasing of our goals. And that's because we didn't have short deadlines, especially having short feedback loops and deadlines. What we did to change that was we started a weekly meeting, and every meeting we would set the goals for that week and the tasks for each person. It would be specific what we need to do. And if there was a way we could measure it, and not just done or not done, but whether there's a number that goes with it, we would have it there. And then who needed to actually do it. And it would always have a 7-day deadline. So from Monday to Monday, that was the time we had to get the job done. And this was a game changer. Every week we would come on that call, especially because we'd be in front of business partners, staff or whatever. We would go task by task through everything we had to do that week. And we would have to either say done or not done. And of course, you don't want to be saying not done in front of everyone else, especially when everyone else is mostly just saying, yep, done, yep, done, 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 done. So having a 7-day deadline was a game changer. Now, you also want to have 90-day deadlines. Something bigger that you're working towards, that is your 90-day deadline. You have a 7-day deadline each week, and you could even have micro deadlines with something like the Pomodoro technique, where you set a 25-minute timer, and by the end of that timer running out, you have to have accomplished XYZ, a smaller task. So these deadlines really give you a sense of urgency, and they make you just take action now instead of procrastinating and leaving it off. And finally, there's the one that nobody talks about. Honestly, in this whole productivity space, all the books I've read, all the courses I've taken over the years and years and years, and people do not talk about this. And that's because it's not a technique, it's not a theory, it's not something that feels nice, it's something that just works, but it requires another person. And that is getting somebody to hold you accountable. Think about it. You've got your goals, you've got your dreams, but how many people know about those goals and dreams? How many people are going to ask you about it? How many people are you going to feel shame in front of when you come back to them 6 months later and they say, yo, what happened with that business you were going to start? And you say, well, I just didn't take action on it. Having accountability is something even built into Islam, where we have to do nahi anil munkar. We actually have to stop people doing bad things. We have to tell them, yo, don't do that. Or if we see our brother and he's slacking his religion, he's not going on the right path, it's our job to tell him, yo, you need to fix yourself up. You need to sort yourself out. How can I help you? So accountability is a big part of getting anything done. And that's why Allah baked it into our religion, so we would be successful in the akhirah. Now, on top of accountability, just having people checking in on you, you want to make it systematic. So you want to have, for example, a 7-day window where someone is checking in on you every 7 days to ask you whether you did what you planned to do that week. And those people, ideally, they should be professionals. They should be people that you kind of look up to a little bit, not someone like a friend that you can easily just slack off with sometimes. And the nice thing that goes along with this is having a coach. Someone holding you accountable is different to a coach. A coach is someone who asks you the right questions, makes you reflect on your decisions, helps guide you through making the right decisions, and really lets you see your blind spots that you're not noticing or realizing. Likewise, a mentor is really helpful. Some of the biggest, highest performing people in the world have mentors. The Sahaba had the mentor of the Prophet ﷺ, but they also had other Sahaba as their mentors. Salah ad-Din had Nur ad-Din Zingi as his mentor, and that got him to the point of conquering Jerusalem and taking it back for the Muslims. So many great leaders in the past, they had scholars or they had ulama who were their mentors. And your mentor could even be an older brother, an older friend, an uncle in the community. Anyone who has accomplished something and is a little bit ahead of you, they could be a mentor for you. So a lot of people tell you to just ghost for 6 months and come back all accomplished. But the truth is that we need other people. We are social beings. And I'm the biggest introvert out there. That's why I have an online business and I'm talking to you via camera right now. But the reality that I cannot escape and you cannot escape is that we need other people to push us and to help us and to support us and to advise us and to guide us. And that's why the fourth barrier of you not taking enough action is that you're not involving the right people around you in getting to your goals. a coach, a mentor, an accountability partner. And that's why I created the front row, because it offers these three things, which were game changers for me, and I know they'll be game changers for you. If you're interested in knowing anything about that, then click the link below. There's a full video explaining exactly why it works, how it works. And if you're interested in working with us after that, then you can take the next steps after that, inshallah. So these are 4 things that you can measure yourself against. How specific are you in your goals and in your weekly tasks? How much are you measuring your success and your progress towards those goals? Do you have deadlines in your life? And do you have accountability, coach, mentor in your life that's helping you? If you don't have any of these, then that's probably the reason that you're not making as much progress as you would like. And so you should take action ASAP to sort that out. Now, if you're watching this video and you want to take more action, then make sure you watch this video next, which is going to take you through a 90-day plan of changing your whole life, becoming an action taker, and taking a serious step ahead in that big goal, that big dream that you have. Watch that video right now, and I'll see you over there.